Republicans and Democrats turn out at an event in Miami to bring awareness to human trafficking. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, an award-winning author headlines an event in Miami to bring awareness to human trafficking. Plus, businesses in Joplin grapple with issues surrounding the city's homeless population. And the Tyson plant in Noel, Missouri is only days from closing. We're going to hear from a worker about the uncertain future.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Miami, Oklahoma residents tonight attended a discussion about human trafficking. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has the story.
Martha Jordan is an award-winning novelist and Miami, Oklahoma native. Martha is also an advocate for human trafficking awareness.
It's very encouraging. And then the back and forth among the people in the audience, giving suggestions of what they can do to help. So I'm very excited about the reception from the crowd.
The event that was put on by the Republican and Democratic parties of Ottawa County allowed Martha to speak and then have an open discussion with residents about their concerns both nationwide and locally.
And I think the more meetings like this that we have here in Miami and the people in the surrounding area, I hope that, that maybe they're able to come to where they can take that into the communities like Joplin, Pittsburgh, Fairland, those areas where the word will get out where a person can go to help.
Many of the stories Martha has heard and experienced have inspired a fiction novel she is writing about human trafficking.
So naive myself, and then getting out there and hearing stories like that just impacted my life so much. I think that I carry that with me, how I was impacted, and if you're impacted, it's easy for that to flow over into other people, and they know that you bring truth.
Martha went on to say that it's important to realize this issue is happening in the United States, and it's not getting the attention it deserves. Reporting in Ottawa County, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Representatives from the Republican and Democratic parties of Miami said they'll do another presentation with that speaker and hope to invite local law enforcement to give input. Another nice day in the 4 states. Let's check in with Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it turned out to be a great Tuesday for us today. Temperatures fantastic, right about where we should be for this time of the year. Started at 45, 75 for a high, 73 is our average high. Record at 92 set back in 1963, and it's much more on the mild side for us tonight. Temperatures holding low to mid 60s, and that's pretty much where we're going to sit throughout the overnight hours. We actually have a warm front that is lifting through, so the winds are switching to the south and actually will increase as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Outside, we've had a couple little tiny sprinkles in our far northern counties, but besides that, we look pretty good. I think we're going to see mainly clear skies, but our temperature is warming up a little bit more over the next couple days. Also, the winds, we're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. The death toll from the weekend terror attack on Israel rose above 1,000 today as more bodies were discovered. And Palestinian officials say close to 900 Gaza residents have died in retaliatory airstrikes. President Biden today spoke with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Reporter Natalie Brand has the latest.
Our hearts may be broken, but our resolve is clear.
Vowing the U.S. will stand with Israel, President Biden called the Hamas terrorist attacks an act of sheer evil.
More than 1,000 civilians slaughtered, not just killed, slaughtered in Israel. Among them, at least 14 American citizens killed. Parents butchered using their bodies to try to protect their children.
On day 4 of the war that followed the attack, Hamas continued to launch rockets into Israel, many intercepted by the Iron Dome defense system. Hundreds of Palestinians have been killed by Israeli Gaza airstrikes. Israel says it's destroying weapons storage and infrastructure used by Hamas, which is designated a terrorist group by the U.S.
The administration says 20 or more Americans are unaccounted for. It's unclear how many of them are being held hostage. The The U.S. is sharing intelligence to help with hostage recovery.
This is personal for us, and it's personal for the American people with their bonds with the Israeli people.
The magnitude of the devastating attacks by Hamas is still emerging.
This neighborhood was brutally attacked and slaughtered. They burned everything and make sure that no one gets out of here alive.
The United States is enhancing its defense posture in the region to send a message of deterrence.
Let there be no doubt. The United States has Israel's back.
And Secretary of State Antony Blinken plans to arrive in Israel on Thursday. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Officials said the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier strike group has arrived in the far eastern Mediterranean to surge U.S. military presence as a deterrent to prevent other nations from entering that conflict. Businesses in Joplin are feeling the impact of the homeless population in the community. Businesses near 32nd Street are dealing with harassment, they say, drug paraphernalia and break-ins. Recently, Joplin Greenhouse and coffee shop was vandalized. Police have arrested a homeless woman in that case. Although the owner took the situation in stride, he believes city officials should be proactive.
And then we need to distinguish between who's a panhandler and who's a true homeless person that really needs to be loved on.
The owner of Joplin Greenhouse wants to remind everyone that not all, certainly, who struggle with homelessness are criminals. Friday is the last day of production at the Tyson plant in Knoll, Missouri. The plant was originally scheduled to close next week, but the closure was moved up to October 13th. Still, the company says team members will be paid through the 20th. The closure will leave about 1,500 people unemployed. An employee we spoke with says since many co-workers have already left, the workload in the last weeks in the plant has almost doubled. Yaneth Gonzalez, who is originally from El Salvador, says employees have been overworked. Our reporter Fernandez Silva provided the translation.
Fewer people are working, and what they have done is increase the workload. The night shift is almost being shut down because there are also too many people. So they have us, in my opinion, like I say, in modern slavery, because I have never been treated so badly in a job as they're doing now.
Yaneth Gonzalez also said the challenges are even bigger for undocumented immigrants and for those who don't have English as their first language. We also reached out to Tyson, who emailed answers to our questions. Tyson says they are committed to providing a safe and healthy workplace for all team members. According to company spokesperson, Tyson values its immigrant and refugee team members and provides high-paying jobs and access to legal services. Tyson also says they verify the employment eligibility of those they hire. Regarding the concern about an increased workload, Tyson said they run their operations based on the number of team members available to work each shift. Tomorrow, we're going to bring you the second part of the interview with Yaneth Gonzalez, where she shares her plans and concerns about the future. We're also going to hear what Tyson is doing to support their employees going forward. The Joplin School District today inducted its 2023 Hall of Fame class. The Hall of Fame recognizes and honors the achievements of outstanding alumni from Joplin schools. 3 people were inducted today. They are 1968 Joplin High graduate, coach, and athletic director Sally Beard, 1970 Parkwood graduate, fighter pilot, and 4-star General Howie Chandler, and 1954 Joplin High graduate and business owner Joseph Newman.
One is to honor those in our past. Our alumni have done amazing things, so we're honoring our past. 2, we're investing in the next generation. We want our students now and future students to look and see that, hey, I too can do amazing things with my life. Here's examples. People that's come through these doors and walked through these halls have done great things in the world. And then number 3, we're looking to invest back into our students.
Joplin Police and School Resource Officer Rick Hershey received the Meritorious Award for his heroic action during a shooting last year. Coming up, authorities announced an update from the investigation into the death of a police dog. Plus, high school volleyball season will wind down, but that didn't stop Carl Junction and Carthage from battling it out on the court. John serves up the details a little bit later in sports.
Are you or a family member?
The Labette County, Kansas Sheriff's Office and Parsons Police Department are sharing a joint update on the review of the death of a police dog. It concerns the unexplained death of the dog KOAM back in August. While the Sheriff's Office continues its investigation, the Parsons Police Department has placed the canine handler on administrative leave and opened a personnel investigation to determine if any policy or work rules have been violated. The handler is represented by private counsel and has been interviewed by the Sheriff's Office along with other individuals. The memorial service for Canine KOAM will be at City Hall in the Municipal Auditorium, the date and time to be announced later. The manhunt is over for a 25-year-old accused of shooting a Cleveland County, Oklahoma deputy along a highway last week. The Oklahoma Department of Public Safety says Cameron Jenkins' body was found along with weapons during a second search of the area. Officials say cadaver dogs found Jenkins' body today, 150 yards from the original shooting scene under some heavy brush. It's unclear just how or when Jenkins died. The scene will be turned over to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation to complete its investigation. The deputy who Jenkins is accused of shooting is expected to be okay. A little bit later, a Baxter Springs man gets ready for trick or treaters with a decades-old tradition.
Plus, we're going to warm up even a little bit more over the next few days. We're going to check that out coming up.
Call and talk.
Let's go places.
Well, it definitely turned out to be another nice one for us today. Temperatures pretty good across the region as we went into the mid-70s. Clear skies, still have clear skies right now. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Looks like we'll see clear skies sticking around as we go through the overnight hours. Plus, temperatures not as chilly. We back down mid-40s this morning. Most of us will stay in the 60s. Stockton a little bit cooler at 54. 64 at Grand Lake. Pittsburgh is sitting at 63. We can go outside. Here's 7th Year's range line sitting at 63. Southerly winds at about 5 to 10. Those will start to increase a bit as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Here's the reason why. Here's a warm front pushing in, so the southerly winds on the south side of the front will start to pick up, and it's going to warm us up, of course, as it lifts in. This is the beginnings of our next storm system that will start to affect us. And with the front, we've seen a few clouds. Couple little spotty sprinkles, couple little spotty showers out there, but most of us have stayed on the dry side. And it looks pretty good across Central Plains. All right, let's go west. Here's this storm system. It's digging in our upper level low, moving into the Pacific Northwest. Pretty strong storm system for this time of the year as well. And it's going to roll out into the Central Plains and kind of change our weather up just a bit over the next couple days. Let me step you through time. Over the next 48 hours, most of us start near 60. The southerly winds start to pick up through the morning hours. We get into the mid to upper 70s by the noon hour. Plenty of sunshine. As we go into the afternoon, most of us in that 80 to 82 range. Monette 78, Miami 81, Lamar 80, Fort Scott about 82 degrees. Tomorrow night, we're only back down mid 60s once again, so it stays mild. As we go into Thursday, very similar to what we're going to see tomorrow. Warm, windy, high temperatures right around 80. As we go into Thursday evening, a line of storms will start to develop and push into our western counties, mainly after 9 or 10 p.m. They are going to be scattered, but the ones that actually do develop could be a little bit on the stronger side. So we need to watch that. Scattered thunderstorms after midnight into Friday morning. We'll start Friday with a few showers, and then they will start to rotate out of here as we go through the morning hours. Day planning for you tomorrow, 65 to start, 77 by noon. High temp of 81, so a little bit warmer than what we have seen. Also windier. Winds are going to be gusting in that 25 to 30 mile per hour range. And then again on Thursday in that 25 to 30 mile per hour range. Also, don't forget Saturday, partial solar eclipse. The peak for us is late morning, about 63% coverage. Of course, don't look at the sun unless you have the protective glasses. This is not a total solar eclipse. It's a partial solar eclipse, but late Saturday morning, if you're interested in that because it's going to be clear. All right, 81 tomorrow, 81 on Thursday. Some morning showers, a few morning thunderstorms on Friday, a high of 69. 63 Saturday. The entire weekend looks fantastic. We hold into the 60s through early next week.
And one way to kind of sort of experience the solar eclipse is with the pinhole and the shoebox trick.
It's too much work.
No.
I saved my glasses from, when was it, 2017?
Actually, I have mine too, come to think of it. I might pull them out again next time. Baxter Springs native is preparing for his 47th annual yard hunt. Now, last year, Jay Olson hosted 500 to 600 trick-or-treaters on Halloween night. Spends all year preparing for the event to make his decorations unique.
The day this goes down till this time next year, it's making new props, whether that's additions to the facade, whether that's pumpkins, whether that's monsters, whether that's tombstones, fencing, whatever, just everything to expand and make this bigger.
On Olson's YouTube channel, Unhinged Productions, he makes videos showing others how to make their own DIY spooky decor. Unhinged Productions, check it out. Still ahead, Missouri Southern and Pitt State basketball speak at MIAA Media Day. And we have highlights from tonight's volleyball matchup between Carl Junction and Carthage. Sean Dales has that and more coming up.
College basketball season is just 1 month away here in the 4 states. Today is MIAA Media Day. Our very own Brock Baldridge has more on the 2023 outlook for the Lions and Gorillas this coming season.
Well, can you believe it? The college basketball season is just around the corner. We're here in Kansas City at the College Basketball Experience, where we got to speak with Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern head coaches from both men's and women's teams about the outlook on their season.
I felt like we've had a good preseason here, and it's early and got a long ways to go. But I think we fixed some things as far as our things we needed in recruiting, as far as some size, bringing in some big kids, and recruiting another point guard. Losing Q's kind of hurt us a little bit, but having Jordan Fryson come in from Memphis, and Max, who was sitting out last year with a broken foot, will help fill that void for us.
We do have a lot of new faces, so we've been trying to do some team bonding and just trying to figure out on the floor what groups and players flow together better, and so we're working on that every day in practice. I just think it takes us having trust in each other and trusting in our work and in the process.
Should be really exciting. We're only 1 month away now from both our men's and our women's team from tipping off for the regular season. In Kansas City, Brock Baldridge, KOAM Sports.
For more of today's coverage from Kansas City, head over to the sports page on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com/sports. We've got the full interviews from all 4 head coaches and players from all 4 of the teams available to watch back. Now looking at the preseason polls, which get released this morning along with Media Day. Starting with the women, Pitt State is 3rd in the preseason media poll. They also receive 1 first place vote. Missouri Southern down at number 7. In the coaches poll, a little more faith in the Lions. They go up to the 5 spot with the Gorillas staying at 3. Now over to the men's side, Missouri Southern comes in at 5, bringing back plenty of talent from a year ago. Meanwhile, Jeff Boshy's group not nearly as highly ranked. The Gorillas down at 11 in the preseason poll. Same spot for both of them in the coaches poll. Northwest gets 19 of the 21 first place votes. Over to high school volleyball. We're exactly a week away from district playoffs in Missouri. Tonight, Carl Junction and Carthage square off, hoping to hit the postseason in stride. Carl Junction hosting Carthage on Pink Out Night, honoring breast cancer survivors. First set, Kylie Scott flies in from the bottom of the screen and gets the kill there. Bulldogs on top 11-7 at that point. Now later in the set, Mia Carnes on to serve for CJ. Tigers tried to go over the top quickly there, but it's shut down. Big time block by Carissa Chase. Carthage wouldn't go away very easily though. This one, the serve gets dug out by Sadie Comer, and then it's going to be Jaden Brunner pushing it across to win the point, 22-17. Carl Junction in the first set at that point. Bulldogs do take the first set, Into the second now. Abigail Wilson's the one who served it, also the one who keeps it alive there, and then Aubrey Flower rises up and gets the kill. Carl Junction goes on to win the second and third sets. Clean sweep from the Bulldogs in their final home match of the regular season. Back to basketball, I think what's very interesting about all four of the teams that we were covering today, we were mentioning a lot of lower expectations. I mean, Pitt State women in at the number 3 spot in the preseason poll, but Missouri Southern just won the MIAA tournament last year. Not a lot of people expecting them to repeat.
The preseason poll doesn't really mean much.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything, really.
What really matters is how you finish the season, and we'll see where that goes. We'll be right back.
Four-State Hero.
We continue our look at festival fall locations with a trip to the Wood Farms Pumpkin Patch in Crawford County, Kansas. This year, the 18-year-old pumpkin patch features a 3-lane fun slide, giant pumpkin bounce pad, wagon rides, a 100-foot zip line, pumpkin bowling, a tire mountain, and a lot more. Wood Farms produces more than just fun and pumpkins. The owner wants people to know the farm produces education as well.
It's just the agriculture and understanding, where food and crops come from. We had a field trip last week and the teacher was so excited to be able to show the kids the various stages of the pumpkins growing, because at least half of her class thought pumpkins grew on a tree. So to learn that they actually grew on a vine, I mean, just priceless.
Admission is $8 per person and kids under 2 get in free. Fun fact, pumpkins are a squash, so they are in fact a fruit, and yes, they do grow on vines, not trees. So a good weather ahead for visiting pumpkin patches and such.
It looks pretty good. We're going to be near 80 over the next couple days, and then a cold front cooling down, nice 60s for the weekend.
Final sports note.
MLB postseason flying by. The Rangers already advanced to the ALCS. They swept the Orioles tonight.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.
Captioning on KOAM News is